Welcome to the British Judo Vodcast. It's episode 3 of the British Judo Vodcast, and we're launching a national campaign to find more female visually impaired judoka to compete in the London 2012 Paralympic Games. Fronting the campaign is one of the VI squad's newest recruit, Leslie Reed, who wasn't even sure she'd be partially sighted enough to come onto the programme, but she's now a VI World Bronze medalist. But first, let's hear what the campaign is all about.
The English Institute of Sport is working with UK Sport as part of the UK talent team. We're working with a select group of sports gearing up for London 2012, specifically trying to find medalists for London 2012. Judo, I'm pleased to say, is one of the sports that we're supporting in terms of the vision impaired programme. And like I said, all this work is geared specifically towards finding medalists for London 2012 Paralympic Games.
The search is really important for us. In Beijing, we took a team of 4 players. Now, at the Paralympic Games, there's 7 men's categories and 6 female weight categories, and obviously we only took 4 players there. For London, we want to field, obviously, be unrealistic to say field a full team for the women, but certainly we want to have at least 3 players that are able to put in fantastic performances and hopefully with medals. On the men's side of things, we're fairly confident we're able to put a full team into the games now, which is a tremendous achievement. All of those players will have real medal opportunities. But for the females, again, we want at least 3 or 4 players that we can put in there, can work with them between now and then, and we'll be able to put incredible performances, and as I say, hopefully with medals in London.
So earlier this year, over last year, between Christmas and January earlier this year, we ran a national recruitment campaign known as Paralympic Potential. The idea was to find sort of athletes that could have the potential to compete in London in 2012 by fast-tracking them through a special talent ID program. And I think one of the key lessons we learned from doing that process was there are actually some really good athletes doing a sport at the moment who may have a minimum either vision impairment or physical impairment, but may not necessarily consider themselves as being disabled, so to say. So I think what we're trying to do with this particular program in terms of supporting British Judo is really to have a really in-depth look at the current female judo population of players to see if maybe there is another Leslie Reed out there or another female judo player who's got some judo experience that we might be able to fast-track through, who also has a vision impairment.
Let's hear from the Paralympic medalist behind the talent search about what it would be like to be involved.
Well, representing your country and being part of a Paralympic Games, I've been very lucky and been able to go to 5 Paralympic Games now, and they've all been different. But there's no better feeling than being sat in your front room and getting that letter popped through the letterbox and having your first international invitation to represent your country. You know, that was the best feeling in the world. And then for every Games you get a letter and a contract to sign again to get onto the team, and you get all this free kit that turns up, and you think, whoa, you know, there's loads of t-shirts, and you get a couple of judo kits and trainers, and then you go off to, you know, all these sort of events where you meet the team and you become a very, very close community very quickly. Put on top of that the chance that you're out there to go and do a job, and you do your job well, and then you win a medal. There's no better feeling in the world.
Still not sure if you're who we're looking for, or if you know any female visually impaired judoka that might have the potential? Let's hear from Leslie Reed about how she got involved in the programme.
In 2004, so it's not that long ago, I got a problem with one of my eyes. It's called myopic macular degeneration. And that didn't bother me too much because I had the other eye and there wasn't a problem, so I just carried on. And then in 2006 it started happening in the other eye as well, and that was the point where I had to stop driving. But I don't know, I didn't think about when I couldn't drive anymore, my first thought wasn't, oh, I can go and compete in a judo competition. There were other things going through my head at the time. So I think the timing, technically I probably could have competed at Beijing if I'd known and trained and all the rest of it, but the timing is better for me now, definitely, because I'm more, well, my children are older, I've got more time to spend on it, and I'm more kind of used to the idea of not being able to see very well than I was right at the start. So I thought that I was too old to do it, and I thought that my eyesight probably wasn't bad enough to qualify. So when Dave phoned me up, I said, there's no point even thinking about it. I may as well just get the test done, see whether I qualify, whether I'm partially sighted enough, and then we probably won't even have a question to answer. So I sent my stuff off to the British Blind Sport, and then forgot all about it because I honestly didn't think that my eyesight was bad enough. And then I got an email from the British Blind Sport saying that I was measured as a B3, which is the least visually impaired category. And I actually felt physically sick when I got that email, I have to admit, because I thought that I knew that I had to do it, because you can't turn away an opportunity like that, and I also knew it was going to be a lot of hard work. So I got a call from one of my colleagues at work straight afterwards, and I wasn't really listening to a word he was saying. I was just totally, and I've been a bit of a whirl ever since, to be honest. I started training, I suppose, after Christmas. We just sort of talked about it before Christmas, and then on New Year's Eve I had my last drink. I said, that's it, I'm not going to drink alcohol anymore till after the Paralympics. And I lost ice cream, cake, things like that. I thought I'm going to give all that up. So that was like very definite. This is today, 1st of January, this is where it all starts. And since then, it's been incredible. I've just, it has changed my life, really. I've lost 2.5 stone in weight. I'm fitter than I was. I'm still not as fit as I should be. And I've done stuff that I never thought for 1 minute I would ever be able to do. So it's amazing. Things keep happening. I keep thinking, no, I can't do that. And I keep getting a bit more confident all the time, I think.
So is this a realistic target?
Yeah, with only 2 years to go to the London 2012 Paralympic Games, I think it is, provided we find the right person. All really we're looking for is, as I say, that a female who has the vision impairment, judo background. As long as we've got commitment and desire in that particular individual, the chances of that person going on to achieve something special in London 2012 are very real. But what it will need is for that person to come forward. They may have a few, maybe anxious or nervous, but really it's a case of, even if you're not sure, get in contact with us, because we would like to hear from you.
Well, I think if it fits in with your life at the moment, if you've got the time and you're prepared to make the commitments, and it's not easy, it's not, I'll come along and be in the Paralympics. You really do have to put a lot in yourself. But if you're prepared to do that, then this is such an opportunity you'll never get again in your life. And I think you don't want to go and look back and think, what if? If you make a decision, no, I don't want to do it, well, fair enough. But you don't want to think later on, oh, if I'd done that. Or you get, when the Olympics comes around and you watch the people in the Paralympics and you think to yourself, I could have been there, but I didn't have the commitment and I didn't want to do it. And that you might be a bit disappointed in yourself if you didn't. So I think for that reason, it's a personal choice. But for me, I want to be able to do that.
And finally, how do you get involved?
Right, getting involved in the visually impaired programme and to find out whether you're good enough is so easy. There's been a page set up on the British Judo website, which is allthews.britishjudo.org.uk. If you look down the left-hand side under all the words, you'll see a big badge which says British Judo for the visually impaired. Click on the badge, have a read of the text, and you'll find my email address at the bottom. There are many ways of explaining the qualifications for the visually impaired. You can go down into B1, B2 and B3, and all that's explained in documents that we have. But quite simply, with corrective vision, if you still can't drive, get involved.